Cool.
Crazy
Ready?
Yes,
right,
sir.
The East Rose Podcast.
5,
Are you listening?
4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the podcast. This is the East Rose Podcast. We're back after a week. We took a week off. We had a show. You know, Steve Rinaldi had a great show last week, and that's why we were off. And it turned out really great, man. I'm telling you, it was probably one of the better comedy nights that I've been to in a long time.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
It was great, man. So that was your first
time producing.
Producing a show, yeah. So had some great acts there. I mean, you know, you killed it, man. It was
Laughing Fox Tavern in Magnolia, New Jersey. It's going to be a monthly showcase with New York and Philly-based comics.
Yeah.
This first time around was all Philly comedians.
It's just in case, because this is going to be something that you're invited back to do again, man.
Yeah.
Right? You know, we're what is it, March 18th?
Yes, sir.
Do you have the lineup yet or no?
I do. Let's see if I know them offhand. We got Lamar Todd's going to be there.
We had Lamar.
We have Lamar on the show. Shout out to
know.
Lamar. Good luck this week, man. He's going to be at the Apollo.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, it is this week.
Good luck, Lamar.
Yeah.
Also, we have Eddie Finn's on the show. John Kensel. And I should have been a lot.
You know what we'll do? That's all right. Hey, listen, we'll list all the acts on in text right over here.
That would be great.
But it's 510 South White Horse Pike, right?
Yes, sir.
In Magnolia, New Jersey. It's
$10.
Laughing Fox Tavern.
You could either pay on the website or you could pay at the door that night. But the first show was great.
Yeah.
Everybody delivered. They do food and drink specials all night. They have a live band afterwards as you're exiting the show.
Yeah.
It was an amazing setup.
It was great.
Parking's awesome.
The place was amazing. The food was phenomenal,
Yeah.
and you know, it was the perfect room for comedy too, right? I mean, it just felt like
the dining room when you walk in the door, and then you take an elevator down, you're in a showroom.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It was a great night, man.
Right,
so I'm
right.
proud of you, brother. I
Thank
really
you.
am, man. I told you 1,000
Means a lot,
times, but
Tone. Thank
it
you.
was more than I could have expected. I mean, it was a great night, and like I said, I'm proud of you. It's good,
Thanks,
man.
buddy.
And I'm looking forward to the next one. Again, 510 South White Horse Pike in Magnolia. It's the Laughing Fox Tavern. That's Wednesday, March 18th. Steve Rinaldi and friends. And you can get the tickets at thelaughingfoxtavern.com. Go there. Get your tickets for Steve Rinaldi's show. And you got to, listen, you're flying out soon, right? You're going to Chicago.
Yeah,
You've been busy, brother.
Not Chicago, Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus, that's right.
But, I mean, from talking to me the past 2 days, I'm like freaking out right now because I got to get on an airplane and this virus.
Yeah.
Oh, my
This
God.
virus is freaking everybody
I'm
out.
like falling into the hype because, I mean, I don't watch the news as much as your normal average Joe because between my day job and my comedy work,
Yeah.
I don't have enough time. I don't have a lot of time to just sit in front of the TV and, make it take over my brain.
Yeah,
in that
yeah.
sense. But I'm going just based on, my day job, the people I'm around at work, the comedians I'm working with, family and friends. Like, I was talking to family members today and saying, I'll be out of town Wednesday to Friday. I got a show at the Columbus Funny Bone. And people are like freaking out
The
that
first
I'm
thing
going
people
on a
talk
plane.
about, yeah,
It's
the
like,
first thing people talk about is that it's coronavirus.
yeah,
right?
you might have it right now, Tony. Jesus
Excuse me,
Christ.
man. I know.
Where's my mask?
Well, that's the thing, man.
What
Masks.
the hell is it?
Yeah.
How can you invite me here with no mask?
My kids, Stacy and the kids are going away in a couple of weeks. And they were asking me the other day, they're like, hey, you know what? We got to get some masks. We got to go find some masks. They are completely sold out.
Crazy.
Dude. They're sold out on, everywhere.
Well,
It's crazy.
Lysol, the disinfection wipes, the bleach. You can't get anything right now. It's just, I was saying something to somebody. I'm not big in the stock market. Maybe you are. I've
No.
never asked you, but it's like, I feel like now's a good time to buy Apple.
Yeah. Well, stocks are tanking, man. It's crazy.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it went down, but it's down quite a bit, And I mean, here it is. What the hell's today's date?
Today is the 1st of March.
The 1st
That
of
we're
March,
filming
right?
this.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah,
when
so
we're
we're
intending.
right.
Right,
So
right,
some of
right,
these
right.
numbers, I know the stock market went down. It could be worse next week. It could maybe come back. So,
Right.
I'm not trying to make people nervous, but,
Right.
it is crazy what these past few weeks have been. Once when it was in China, it does have to scare you and make you think, like, are they being honest? Are the numbers really what they're saying? They're saying. Here's why I say that, because a buddy of mine, he goes back and forth to China all the time. He's got products that he creates and all, and so he works with a lot of manufacturers, and he has a manufacturing plant in China. So he's been telling me that he thinks it's a lot worse than what China's putting out there, and that's been in the news once in a while here and there. But it's terrifying to think that it could be worse than they're saying. Because that means you have no clue how bad it is,
So, on the business, you're saying he owns a business in China?
Well, he works with he's invested in a manufacturing plant, but he works with a lot of different manufacturers. So
wow. So he's not that side of his business right now. He's not working. I'm assuming
they've shut down so much of it. It's unbelievable. Like most of the cities have been shut down. That have had this virus show up, but this the thing that's even terrifying too is that China, the government now is telling people just go back to work, So what my buddy was telling me is that
all right, my show to Columbus has been canceled. Yeah. I'm not going. No, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just weird, man.
So there's my buddy's saying they're going back to work, but what they're doing is they're taking their temperatures. And if they have, a fever, they log them in, with the authorities and stuff like that, and they let them know that these people might be sick. They'll test them and everything like that, and then they'll just take them away and quarantine them. But it's. I mean, I don't know how else you could do it. I mean, it sounds crazy, but if it's that serious, there, to where they're not even 100% telling you the truth. I mean, how do you stop this thing? Now they have. The first case, was that today? I think it was today, the first case. I think it was in the state of Washington. Right. Somebody died today.
I mean, there was a buzz around Jersey for a while. Everybody thought there was like one person in Jersey, and then it was just, I don't know, man. Also with social media.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of what you're reading is not true.
Yeah.
But that creates even an extra panic than it would if something like this happened 15, 20 years ago. Now you're going on social media, you're seeing it nonstop.
Yeah.
It's just, people are losing their minds off of it.
Yeah.
I have a casino job by the day. I've said that in the past as my day job.
Yeah, you have thousands of people that come in
right,
and out
and what's becoming a pretty consistent thing since this all started is, we're in the hospitality business and we work with the public, and you're very exposed, frontline employees.
Yeah.
They're asking if they could wear masks.
Wow.
I mean, that's not something that looks presentable.
Yeah.
If you walk into a business and you see that, but who's to say a week, maybe a month from now, it might be a normal thing in this country.
Yeah, I
right
know.
or wrong. It's like we haven't reached that point yet, but it's just. I don't know, bro.
Well, it's like this.
I was going to wear a mask on stage last night. I was at Bally's. I didn't know how that would have worked. Our next podcast, we're going to have masks.
Yeah.
East Rose podcast.
We're screwed, man. You can't even find the masks. So I mean, we're going to be wearing napkins or something.
Are you dead serious about that being like an item you just can't purchase? No.
Yeah, yeah.
How about online? See, I didn't look.
They'll
into
have them. Amazon was out of them maybe a week ago. I mean, they'll get them again, but they're just people are getting them like crazy. So, but one of the things about the masks too, like my buddy again, who knows China really well, and I've been to Hong Kong. When I went to Hong Kong, a few people had those masks on. This is years ago, and I remember asking my buddy. I was with him actually, Jerry Flippo. Anyway, so I says, Jerry, I said, why do these people have these masks? And he said, in China, it's like a courtesy. If you're sick, you'll put a mask on, and it is courteous, right? So people, they're holding in their germs, and people know, maybe keep your distance a little bit. I'm not feeling well. It's a great way to be. But now they're talking about, like some of these doctors have said, it's a false sense of security to get these masks when you are not sick. Because, like shit can propagate on these masks. So you're wearing a mask that might have germs that, are just sitting on the mask making you sick. So the thing is, these masks work if you're sick. If you're going to sneeze, if you're going to cough, whatever it may be, you're going to keep it to yourself. You're not going to get sicker because the germs that already are in you are on your mask. So I don't know. Does that make sense to you?
Absolutely,
absolutely.
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out again this whole conversation. It started because I'm going to be on a plane in 2 days, and you're saying your wife and kids are going to be on a plane. I'm curious if we have anything to worry about. We're staying in the States. I'm flying out of Philly to Ohio, and then I'm coming right back. But it's like,
I mean,
it's a known fact.
You're going to be in a plane with a few hundred people. It's like, but you know what? I mean, I don't know if it's. I mean, there's always somebody who has the flu in a plane, or somebody who has.
I've been on flights where people wear those masks.
Oh yeah, I have too.
Before all this started, and I used to.
But why are they wearing it? They're wearing it because they're sick. They're not feeling well, so they're wearing it, and it is courteous to wear that. Now you're going to go on a plane. You'll probably see a lot of them. To tell you the truth, man, you'll probably feel like it'll probably give you some anxiety on the plane, to see all that shit. That's it. Like it's kind of a scary look, when you see.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, you see a bunch of people with these damn, face masks on.
Bro, I'm telling you, if we get to a point where, like, you're walking in a restaurant and your server's, like, trying to spiel you the menu, have you guys decided and you got a mask on? It's like...
Yeah.
I was thinking about that today. Like I'm at my job, I tend to give comps, and at the casino and stuff, I give a guy a comp to the buffet. And he said, "Oh, you're going to the buffet with this virus going around right now."
Oh my god!
Because you'll end up being that guy. You're at the buffet line. You're like, "Whoa, back up a little bit."
Yeah,
you're breathing all over the oysters. It's like,
yeah. Oh my god, man! Those fucking buffets too, man. You ain't kidding.
Nah, well, everybody. It's just now that I don't know. I think it's going to affect a lot of businesses too.
Yeah.
If they already, I'm talking in the States. If they're already not feeling that, people aren't going to want to dine out as much. They're not going to want to go to bars. They're not going to want to go to nightclubs. They're going to want to stay home.
Yeah.
They're saying, like, even canned goods right now, like, people are trying to be safe in a sense that if they need to be sheltered,
they don't stock up.
Right.
Yeah. We were just talking about the stock market, and something I saw earlier was these stocks that are hurting, what's bringing down the market are all the going out stocks. The stay home stocks are going up. Like stay home stocks would be like Netflix and Peloton bikes and things like that. Believe it or not, those are actually climbing. But the things that you do outside, those are starting to come down. Some of your restaurant stocks, things like that. And it really shows, that it's scaring the hell out of people, man. You know what I mean? It is, as it probably should, right? But I mean, you don't want to get too crazy with things. You know what I mean? But remember, they had that Ebola virus for a while there, and that seems like they don't even talk about it anymore. That was probably I don't even know how many years ago it was, but it kind of felt like the way it is right now. You remember that, the Ebola virus?
I do, but I don't remember.
But it's like you forget about it.
I don't remember it being like this.
Yeah,
man. I just never. This has been insane. It's like everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody I'm coming across is bringing it up.
You know what's scary, man? We all know, like, nurses. We know, some of us know doctors. Some of us know, whatever. Just, first responders, all these people that are around people that are sick. You forget how courageous they are.
Oh, no doubt.
You know what I mean? You really do. Because in moments like this, I mean, I would not want to be around, maybe that's why it's not a career choice of mine, but you know what I mean? It's like, you got to think of those things when you get into that. One of my little cousins is a nurse now. And I think, like, wow, man, that's got to be scary to her.
Nerve-wracking.
But I wonder if if they just kick in and they do their job and they just go, because I think in China there's been a few maybe nurses, I think it was, that got really sick, and I think one of them died. But they came, they went into that. They knew it was there. They were treating somebody, and they got it. You know what I mean? But it's crazy, man. So then, did you hear about this? This is friggin' nuts, man. Iran, right? I guess they have an outbreak in Iran. And they had their, I'm probably saying this wrong, but they had they wanted to settle people down, right? So they took was like this. I don't know what the term is, but like he was like a chief doctor or a health, like a chief guy for health, for the government. And he went on TV and he's like, settle down, don't worry, this thing isn't so bad, you know what I mean? We got it under control. It's not so bad here in Iran, everything like that. And then he's like wiping his forehead and stuff like that while he's doing it. The next day, this freaking guy has it. He's on TV telling people don't worry about it. Yeah, man. I don't know his name. I'll put it up, man. But I am not kidding you, man. The video is out there. And I'm like, wow, that's insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And this guy's telling people to settle down and stuff. And like in the video, people could look it up. He's wiping his forehead and everything.
I got some upcoming dates that I'm canceling. Albany, March 13th to the 14th. I'm going to plug my shows this way.
Yeah, plug your shows just in case they do happen.
Albany Funny Bone, March 13th through the 14th with Big J Okerson. March 18th, Laughing Fox Tavern, like Tony was hyping me up. I love this guy right here. March 20th, Milton Theater, Delaware. Performing in Delaware. I've never performed in Delaware before. And March 22nd, one of your favorites, Anthony Rodea.
Yeah.
Internet sensation, man. What he's been able to do in a year is just so,
I would imagine,
so inspiring to me.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's been a comic for a while, but how this man has been able to use the internet to boost a career to a completely different level.
Yeah.
I can't wait to work with this guy. Again,
I would imagine
I worked with him in Albany.
I would imagine a lot of our viewers know who he is. If you don't, you should look him up. I mean, the guy's got a lot going on. He's got he's just got a brand of comedy that's it's fresh, man.
Unique.
It's definitely different.
Unique.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, that's going to be great to be working with
That's at
him.
Helium Comedy Club.
Pick his brain a little bit, too, when you work with him. You know what I mean?
And I also, real quick, in case I forget, on the way here, I booked April 1st at Punchline Philly.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite clubs.
Yeah.
So.
Dude, that's a great club, man.
Yeah.
That's a great club. Anthony Rodeo was where?
Helium Comedy Club in Philly.
Another great club.
Sampson Street. Yep.
Man. It's amazing, man, to watch your career grow. To you, you're just grinding out. You're doing it. But, if you start to, me, in some ways, I'm a spectator. I mean, I help you, through it as I can, but I'm still a spectator. You know what I mean? And being a spectator, I get a different perspective. I get to see the growth, and all these things are bigger, than probably you have time to realize sometimes. You know what I mean?
I appreciate
the level of support that you're getting, the new fans and all that stuff, man. I'm glad to be a part of it. I'm glad that
this podcast has been such a blessing for me. I'm having a blast getting to know you and getting to know your friends and fans of the show too. It's been awesome.
Well, it's a new outlet.
Something different for me.
It's a newer outlet for people who are artists. You know what I mean? It's like, or people, and it's neat to get to know a comic outside of their comedy sets. You know what I mean? Comics are really, I've always said this. I mean, they're really layered people, right? I've said this before to you. They're in some ways they're the most interesting people, and this podcast setting and all the other podcasts that we watch, because we're big fans of podcasts, you realize, how layered some of these people are. They have comics on all the time. Comics are like the guest of, or they're either the host or the guest of all these podcasts.
Started the Mecca in a lot of ways, and it's funny. It's like you see some of the people at the top, like Joe Rogan. He's one of probably
one of the big ones.
Yeah. So
Bill Burr is huge.
But I'm saying, like, Joe Rogan on his. He's not funny, not most of the time.
Right, not trying to be.
But he's built a comedy following from people being fans of the podcast. And then you see a guy like Burr who's taken the comedic route, and he's funny throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
So there's really every podcast has to kind of find their growth. I remember when you first brought up me taking part in this. I remember like looking at early podcasts online and seeing Joe Rogan when like his first 3 episodes.
Yeah, it was awful.
And it's still out there.
Yeah.
And just to see how far
he's
came and I even listened to Burr's first podcast, and he's like, he's like talking shit about Robert Kelly, who was his roommate at the time. He's like, I don't even know what the F I'm doing. And it's just funny to see how far podcasting has came.
And comics, though. Comics and podcasting. Not just podcasting. I mean, there's so many different podcasts, but, comics are, you realize you watch these guys. Why are they good when they're not trying to be funny? Why are you listening to Joe Rogan and he's not telling jokes, but you'll go pay to watch him tell jokes? Because he's an observer, as many comics he's an observer of the world. He's taking in things. He seems like he knows so much, but he knows so much because of that. Kind of goes with comedy. Like, if you're going to be funny, you better know a lot of things about life. You got to observe life. You know what I mean? You can't experience everything, so you have to observe as much of it as you can so that you can say something about somebody else's life that is funny to them, even though it really doesn't pertain to you. But so having that
kind of
career,
like what we're doing with the coronavirus.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So having that career, man, is why, I think that these guys are so good at it. You know what I mean? These podcasts, these comics are there because, they have more than just these jokes. Where do jokes come from? They come from observing the world. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So it's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
But, so I wouldn't worry too much about your flight.
No,
I
was talking to a friend of mine. He said, he was giving me some tips. They have that over-the-counter vitamin or drug, Airborne.
Yeah, we take it anyway.
They also have. It's very common to get some Neosporin and put it on your nose,
really,
your ears.
Oh, that I don't know.
Along your lips. This is all new to me.
Neosporin.
I've never heard of that, but
I don't know. Yeah, I guess it would make sense. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I have no idea.
But it's crazy. Like, I'm going into the show very confident.
Yeah.
But I'm not looking forward to flying.
To the flight. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? It's like,
yeah. I mean, it's going around, man. People are like, most people who are flying, they were thinking the same way.
Right.
It's and I mean, as you should. I mean, you got to be careful. You got to, you don't want to be dumb. You know what I mean? And you just got to be careful. But at the same time, you don't want to be so careful that you're scaring the shit out of yourself. You still got to live life. I mean, I think these kind of things, they come around. I mean, we just talked about the Ebola. There's been other things. They come and they go. Hopefully, this one will be one of those come and they go moments. I'm assuming that, like the flu, because it's almost like a strain of the flu. I'm assuming that when it warms up, that'll kind of. That it'll all ease up, wouldn't it?
If you got the flu shot, it's not helping this. That's what a lot of people are telling me.
What do you mean you're getting it even if you got the flu shot?
If you have gotten the flu shot, it's not going to help against this virus.
You're not fighting this, yeah.
So it's like that's a little bit confusing and scary to me.
That is scary.
How long can it last?
And you think about
how long do these things tend to last?
You think about how long it takes to combat one of these things. You know what I mean? So, it might take years to find something that would work against it. That's scary. The other thing that's scary, dude, is the idea that it might end up in, a metropolitan area, in a big city. Where everybody, like in a New York City or in, somewhere in California where people are just on top of each other, dude. That's terrifying.
So, with your daughters, going to school, how you feeling about that? Like them being around children and
yeah.
How old are your daughters again?
5 and 9. Yeah, yeah. I don't know, man. The kids have just kind of realized that this thing is a thing.
Oh,
so
really?
Yeah. Well, they've been seeing it on the news and all. So
okay.
I don't know, man. They got to go to school. They got to. But you know what? They're always getting sick at school. And as far as we know, there isn't a case in Jersey, right, that we know of?
No.
Or in New York, right? Or Delaware.
I heard nothing in this area yet.
Yeah. So
hopefully not at all.
Yeah, I know. You're not kidding, man. But I don't know, man. Things like this, your life has to change a little bit. You
Definitely.
know what I mean? So this is something. I hope it doesn't turn into into just a real, a true pandemic. I mean, I don't know how that would affect, the world. It would be unbelievable, man. Hopefully they get a hold of it. And I don't know. Like some people are saying, the news is going way too far with this. Which is, listen, it may be. You know what I mean? Maybe they get us, worried about it so that we can tune in. Dollars are always important. You know what I mean with all that. But I'd hope that they're not doing that.
Right. I mean, you want everybody to be safe, but again, you're affecting a lot of lives just by putting that out there into the universe.
Yeah.
Like I was mentioning earlier in the conversation, it's like, look at all the businesses that have been affected overseas. Now I'm curious about here.
Well, you look at the effect that it's having here with only, less than 60 cases, I think it is. And then you're talking about China, who's had to shut down entire cities. That has to be, it's got to be destroying their economy. I mean, I'm sure that we wouldn't know it until, it has to be destroying their economy, man. That's scary.
Right.
That something like this can change your life, and your country in such, in just weeks. I mean, it's only been weeks.
I have a friend from Hong Kong. I was going to go this year.
Were you really?
It ain't happening.
Oh, man.
No book shows in Hong Kong.
I know. Well, Hong Kong's great, but they have this fair.
I don't mean no disrespect by that, but I'm freaking out just the fact that I'm getting on a plane.
So one of the things, man, that's crazy is, and this is bigger than I can even explain it, because unless you're from there or unless you go there, you wouldn't really understand how important this fair is. They have this thing called the Canton Fair, right? The Canton Fair in Hong Kong is like the largest. Everybody brings their products, new products, buyers come in, inventors come in, companies come in, and they basically sell their wares. You know what I mean? It's like, and it can make or break, everything that's new came out of the Canton Fair, most likely. And they're talking about just scrapping that for the year, not having the Canton Fair. That is going to, in some ways, it can destroy companies.
Wow. To
not be able to, to go to this Canton Fair and sell their products and show their products. I mean, it's pretty scary, really. The Canton Fair is an enormous thing for Hong Kong, and if they don't have it, that really tells what we're really dealing with.
Wow.
Scary.
Well, hopefully the next time we're on here, guys, it's over. Like it's done.
Yeah.
This virus dies down quick, because this is I'm telling you, it's I work at the casino, so they're just customers, everything. We have Purell, the hand sanitizer in every pit. By the tables, customers are wiping.
Are customers talking
chips.
about that? Like, or is it like? Is there a lot of people talking about it? Workers, customers, everybody.
Yes,
Really?
they're out in public, but they're just constantly washing their hands and clean.
Wow,
I get it.
Yeah, man, I
Our
want people to
country's
keep,
already
keep coming
shook.
to Atlantic City, man. I don't want to see Atlantic City suffer. I mean, they just kind of Atlantic City's been doing really well.
Oh, no doubt. That's why I'm telling you. The next time you guys see me live on stage, I may have rubber gloves and a mask while I'm performing, so don't get
That's right.
Don't get thrown off that much.
Well, hey man, you know what? I got to get to work tomorrow. You got to get to work tomorrow. We wanted to make sure that we got one in because we didn't see you last week.
Please come to the Laughing Fox.
Yeah.
Please, Steve Rinaldi and friends, March 18th,
Yeah.
Wednesday night. Tony will be there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll
Buy
be
a
there.
drink.
Yeah.
No,
I won't be
I'll
telling
buy
any
it.
jokes. I won't be telling any jokes. But listen, it definitely was a great night. Again, I was proud of you, man. I really
Yeah,
was. Your mom was there. I talked to her. I told her. I said,
Thanks,
man,
Mom.
look at what your son did, dude. And you could just see it in her eyes. She's like,